Welcome everyone to Nerd TV on a Wednesday night, beautiful Wednesday night that is, at 9 p.m. Eastern. We have 3 races left into the the season rather, for the Full Throttle Sim Racing Points Truck Series. This time they're taking the Monster Mile Dover Delaware Speedway. Completely different from last week where you saw the Super Speedway and short tracks before that. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty, Kenny, and we got 3 races left in this season. How you doing over there?
Yeah, it's coming down to the nail biter, and it's going to be an exciting one. Especially, I don't see Casey McMullen Jr. out here tonight, Jeremy. And he's second in points, only 4 points behind Bobby Terrell. So things might be shaking up a little early.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. I mean, they do have about 4 minutes left before this thing kicks over to qualifying, and I think he has the qualifying time too. So about roughly 8 minutes or so before he's officially locked out of this event. It's not unheard of to see people jump in late, but usually Casey's in here early, so I'm really surprised right now he's not in here.
Yeah, hopefully he can make it in because we'd like to see him continue with that points battle. Good fight here. You got Claude Ferlin leading the way, Jeremy, on practice, running a 22.449. Zach McDaniel right behind him, and then Brandon Elder, again, great practice runs with Brandon. I know we've been saying it for weeks, and he's just been coming on strong as of late.
Yeah, the team's been grinding and putting in some extra time, and it's starting to pay off here as we're starting to see him in top 5s in practice and getting better in the qualifying too. So coming on a little too strong, or a little too late, rather, but it's just going to set himself up for next season, really.
Yeah, exactly. Just keep that momentum rolling. What a better time than get hot and then towards the end of the season and roll into the next one. So I expect him to do some things, but we'll see what happens when the race starts because, as we mentioned as well, his luck hasn't been the greatest this season. So hopefully maybe that's starting to wean off as well.
Yeah, I mean, very well could be. I'll quickly recap the points for you guys since we have 3 races left. Bobby Terrell, 4-point lead over the guy who's missing currently, Casey McMullen. That's a pretty tight battle. If he's unable to make it, that potentially could drop him back all the way to about 4th or 5th in points. Because behind them, Nicholas Casey, one of the rookies, only 30 points out of Bobby Terrell. 1 point behind Nicholas is Simon Magden, your winner last week's Talladega race, 31 points out of the leader. And then Chuck Sweeting, currently sitting in top 5 with 44 down, and Richie Coy only 1 point behind him, even at 6th. So after the first 2 guys, really 3rd through about 8th could shift in a race or two. With 3 races left, there could be a lot of transferring, and Bobby's got to try to keep his pace up to kind of lock this thing in.
Oh my God! Did you see that car doing a backflip there? That was crazy. But yeah, there's 5 of the top 5, Jeremy. Those points, you got 3 of those rookies right there in 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So the rookies are showing out this season, no matter if it's in the trucks or the cup or anything like that. So it's definitely a good points battle, and we'll see what happens with these next 3 races. But yes, I don't know if you caught that, Jeremy. Simon Magden there, just last week's winner, just caught a lot of air as they came off of that corner there, just collected him. I think it was off of 2 there.
You know what? You said something about it as I was looking over those point standings, and I quickly brought it over to my replay. And yeah, sure enough, that guy, probably 3 stories in the air, clears the catch fence, lands back on the track. You don't see that too often, especially from a mile track. So, yeah, just used Kenny Scholl's truck as a ramp, and off he went. You got the chat saying "R.I.P." They're loving it. They're having a ball with that wreck right there.
Yeah, that was a good one right there, and that's what I love about this place too. Dover's one of my favorite tracks. I think when I bought iRacing, the first track that I bought was Dover, and I just love these corners. You just come off with so much speed, and it's just a really fun track to get around. And I'm excited to watch these next, this week and next week in the Cup Series here. It'll be fun, and of course this weekend in real life.
Yeah, Dover. There's only a couple of tracks on the circuit, this one and being Bristol and Homestead, that have that true oval shape with no tri-oval in the middle. It's just the same exact corners. I could count Martinsville, but that's a whole other thing with no banking. But the corners here especially, yeah, you lift so much exiting the corner, then you just literally fall downhill entering the corner. There's no other place on the circuit really like it. And it poses a lot of challenges, especially in these trucks. When you come off the corners, turn 2 and 4, you're lifting the car or the truck, whatever you're driving, up off the ground a little bit, And then with the trucks have no weight in the rear end. If you're on a like empty gas tank, there's no weight back there really other than your tires. So the trucks get really light in the back, and it causes to really just tiptoe through these corners.
Yeah, you got to be careful, especially when the tires start wearing off too. That's just going to add a whole other factor to this place, and we know the Monster Mile likes to eat those up every now and then as well. So I can see where these guys have their setup. Seeing a lot of guys coming off in practice off of 4 and even 2. 2 more so I think is what I've been seeing in practice, but they're coming off and hitting that outside wall. So we'll see how quick that monster jumps up and grabs a couple people once we get rolling.
Yeah, there's at least one guaranteed tonight that the Monster Mile is going to say, hey, you know what? I'm a little hungry. One of these trucks look pretty good. You see it every race. Doesn't matter if it's real life or in the sim world. There will be one guy that tags turn 2 or turn 4. Me personally, I'm always off a 4. I feel like it comes at me faster, but I know realistically it's not actually, closer to the racing surface. But you're not wrong there. It should propose a lot of, or it could propose essentially a lot of issues for some drivers out there. But with that being said, though, this was the Martin Sports pre-race show. Qualifying is underway, so that means we need to start thanking some people that allow us to do this every Monday and Wednesday night for you guys on Nerd TV with Full Throttle Sim Racing Series. And first and foremost, the league themselves, FTSR. Thank you for trusting and believing in us to do this for you twice a week. I know we signed on for Wednesday next season, 22 Season B. So appreciate that. If you guys that are watching really want to join in on the action for a brand new season, please jump over. We're going to have 3 weeks left. It looks like one potential off week. So you got about a month. And then boom, we're into season number 2 of 2022. Really super easy website to use too. So ftsr.net, and please register. And big thank you as well to the Sim Racing Points, the all-inclusive league points management system. Recently joined with the Nerded 2s as well. So, double hoorah for those guys. SimRacingPoints.com. It's admin's best friend to maintain all your stats. It's crazy how much detail, after I was going through it, week in and week out, how much detail and how many stats it holds. It's second to none, really, as far as that amount of detail, and it's super easy to use and very clean. So if you would like to use that in your league, go to simracingpoints.com and check out their pricing plans. Then shout out to Martin Sports, home of the sim gloves and all of sim racing. They do specialize in customized hoodies, t-shirts, and hats. And if you do any custom orders, they have the fastest turnaround in the business. So if you'd like to check out all their full apparel lineup, head over to martinsports906.com. Use promo code SUPERNERD at checkout and get yourself 25% off everything in the shopping cart. And then thank you to iRacing iFlag. You're going to go to iRacingIFlag.com and check out their caution/indication system. And it's a 6x4 3D printed little unit that has 64 LEDs, really bright. It tells you everything that's going on around you, whether you got a truck high, low, if caution's out, you got a meatball. Basically, whatever the spotter's doing for you, it's going to do for you as well. And it comes at a good price, too. So head over to iRacingIFlag.com. Use promo code SUPERNERD at checkout. This time for 15% off anything of the iRacing iFlag product. And then we have the Butt Kicker, the official audio enhancement provider for the Nerditudes, especially that Gamer 2 unit that's at the Nerd headquarters. Gives you that real life sim racing immersion to your seat, like you're actually driving the real car. Once again, that's a product that's second to none to most other on the market. So even if you're sitting like in a TV dinner chair, something simple, it makes that chair feel so much more realistic. Head over to thebuttkicker.com. Use promo code NERDTV this time for 20% off of all their products. And then shout out to Nerd Focus. They have 2 flavors. The green is sugar and the blue is sugar-free. Both super tasty, easy to drink, and they keep you hyper-focused on whatever's in front of you, whether if it's, you got homework, you're just trying to stay awake, you're trying to compete in one of these sim races. Go to nerdfocus.com, use Super Nerd at checkout, 10% off their flavors. And then shout out as well to Moonlight Speed Concepts. you'll head over to moonlightspeed.com. Check out all their setups that they offer for the asphalt world. Professional setups done, super fast setups. I use them personally, and they've gotten me some wins that I didn't think would be possible in certain cars and track combinations. So if it works for me, I would imagine it's going to work for you as well. Moonlightspeed.com. And then also on the dirt side, you're going to go to houseofspeed.us. Same deal, it's just on the dirt. So if you want a professional dirt-like setup with any of the oval cars that they have to offer, you're going to get yourself in victory lane. And they come at a good price point, too. They're not really expensive. So please check them out, houseofspeed.us. All right, so we got about, looks like 30 seconds again left in qualifying. And Bobby Terrell, looks like Ken so far has the top spot.
Yeah, and that's, the top off Case McMullen will not be here. That's definitely not good news when you see Bobby Terrell leading the way, taking the pole. He's trying to extend that points lead, and he had good run last season too until the chase came about, and that kind of messed up his run. So hopefully this year he can pull it off, and he's looking to do the same thing. And if Casey doesn't show up in the next, I think it's over, Jeremy. So that's it right there. So that's gonna be a big. If Bobby Terrell possibly have a big points day.
Ding, 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 ring the bell. 25 entries into tonight. That means Case McMullen will drop at least 25 points at minimum, probably more with the lap sled and this and that for the, the race rewards. So looking at the charts here on the standings, just temporarily it's going to drop him down to third place. But we'll see what happens. That's a tough hit, man. He's -4 now, and now he's going to be -29 minimum. If Bobby can win and get some points extra, for 2 races, Kenny, he's going to need a miracle to make anything happen.
Yeah, it's definitely going to have to be some, he's going to have to gun for it, get some wins if he wants to compete for it. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But let's go ahead and run through this order here. As we mentioned, taking the pole there, Bobby Terrell with a 22.471. And then Quad Furlong coming off on the outside row there, row 1. Nicholas Casey starting 3rd. Chuck Sweeting 4th. Andrew Policki is going to be rolling off in 5th. Alex Murphy in 6th. Jeff Langston in 7th. Richie Coy in 8th. Mark Dubril in 9th, and 10th is going to be Steven Verman.
Sitting in 11th place is going to be that all chromed out Chevrolet Chris Stouffer. Starting on his outside in 12th will be Zach McDaniel in the McDaniel Racing Toyota. Starting 13th, Lane Allen, the Bass Pro Shops Chevrolet. At 14th, you'll find Kenneth Scholes in that Farming Simulator 4 F-150. Starting in 15th, Martin Garreau in the Rumble Racing Chevrolet. 16th place, you'll find Brandon Elder in that Blackwater Product Chevrolet. Starting in 17th place will be Brian Bliss in his Interstate Batteries Toyota Tundra. 18th place will be Sylvain Jolly, and on my screen he is completely white and skin's not loaded, so I apologize about you, Sylvain. I know you're usually black and purple, but we'll get it figured out there. 19th place, we're finding Wayne Grassy, who's actually starting back further than what we usually see in that all yellow and red Shell Pennzoil Chevrolet. So let's see if he can make his way up to the front. And to round out the rest of the field, 20th place, Kevin Rupert. Same skin as always. Rocking that, can't tell exactly what that, some rye drink. I do apologize. 21st, you got Tony Solari in the Menards Ford F-150. 22nd, Simon Magden coming off that race win with his Team Rumble Racing Chevrolet. 23rd, Michael Blackner, Red Bull Ford F-150. Brody Hannon, 24th, that Gladiator Ford. And to round out, 25th place in that Blackwater Chevrolet, Steve Loomis. And that's going to bring the green flag out here as they are approaching Mr. Late Larry, or Early Larry. I don't know how you want to call him, but green flag is out. Underway here. Pretty clean start, it looks like so far. Dead heat entering turn number 1 as you got Claude Furlong putting some early pressure on Bobby.
Yeah, you see Bobby Terrell's going to try and take that momentum down into coming off a 2 here. See if Claude cuts right down in front of Chuck Sweeting. He does, but you see a great run there by Bobby as he's heading into turn 3, and I don't think he's going to give it up.
No, they're going to go single file here for the first 4 or 5 trucks. We see the different lines already showing its face as Bobby Terrell runs that diamond corner. The few others right behind him run just right up against the bottom of the track there. And they're single file already for about 10th place, Ken.
Yeah, see a little bit. We got some move back there between basically looks like Zach McDaniel, Mark Dubril, Chris Stouffer, that right just outside the top 10 there. They were kind of jumping back and forth. They're going across start finish line. But other than that, yeah, kind of everyone singled out here and just kind of warm up these tires and seeing what. Oh, as we see, looks like right there, the 88's going to be going around Mark DeBrill. Just mentioned how they were kind of battling it out there, and unfortunately, it looks like he's going to hold on to it coming off the 4.
Just a light tap on the nose on the inside wall of turn number 4, basically the front stretch at that point. Easy slide. I don't think he's going to have too much damage there. We're going to get a little extra shot off Nerd TV, but it looks like he had a little assistance after getting sideways there.
Yeah, let's take a look here on Nerd TV, see exactly what happened. Yep. Oh, right there, Christopher, as you see, looks like he was slowing up trying to save it there, and Christopher unfortunately just got into the back of him.
Yeah, he had that thing. I think he might have had it saved, but the way he just brake checked the middle of the track, there was no way no one was going to not make contact. So it's unfortunate that Christopher had to be there, help him turn around. But I don't think that's too much damage, just a little bit on his nose and rear for Mark DeBriel, and then Christopher, decent amount of nose damage. You always got to worry about your radiator, but I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah, and that just adds to it for Christopher. I mean, he started out the season, white hot, and then this last couple of races, he's been having a string of bad luck himself. Just stuff like that, coming loose off the corner and breaks up a little bit and right to the back of him. So hopefully, like you said, minimal damage, can get it fixed and get back out there as we see him and Zach McDaniel right now on pit road.
Those white hot nacho fries must still be on your mind, right?
So good.
Yeah, I have not tried them yet. I've been a couple of times, have not tried them, but might have to soon before they run out anyways. But that was only about 3 laps of green flag before caution came out, so not usually a sight that we see at full throttle, but this is going to allow the 43 to see if he can do anything different over Bobby Terrell, who had such a strong 1 and 2. It's really hard to compete with the restarts here with how turn 1 and 2 act on a restart for the bottom person. They just have so much extra speed you can carry through the corner. So Claude did an excellent job on that first start. Let's see if he has anything extra on this restart.
Yeah, you can see just the jump that Bobby got on him, especially coming off of 2. He pulled a couple car links or truck links on him. And even Chuck had a good one. I thought Chuck might have actually squeezed the gap and kept Claude up on the high side, but Claude was able to come down. So if he can match that, that'll be good to go. But if Chuck can get a little bit faster, he might squeeze in there and kind of sneak inside of Claude going into 1 and 2.
Yeah, Chuck's he's known to make some good moves, and Chuck looks bad fast. So I can definitely see him just to get some early laps led in this thing for sure.
Yeah, he definitely wants to get some laps led. And like you mentioned, Bobby Terrell, he's already got 1 more point added up for leading the lap. So that's going to be another one there on Casey McMullen. So depending on, if it finishes this way, it might be a 30-point gap at the end of this race, Jeremy.
It's very possible. A lot of things could happen, especially at Dover. It's kind of like a super speedway in the sense that if there's a wreck that happens, like we just saw at the 88, there's really nowhere to go. There's no outside, obviously, and then the inside, there's only a very tiny amount of space for an apron. So you're kind of caught up in the wreck if it's right in front of you, unless you have some type of miracle that splits the trucks at the right time and you can kind of squeeze through. But
this is one of those tracks where it's a shorter track too, where you see. Well, I've seen people, cars roll. You don't really see that these shorter tracks, and this is one that has that speed where like you said, nowhere to go, and that you can end up rolling too if you get hit just right.
Yeah, absolutely. Pace car is in turn 3. That means we got about another corner left, and then you'll see him dip down and wait for late Larry to throw his flag. He always has it out early. There he is. You don't even see the cars. There they are. They're in your camera there. Just kind of holding it steady. Waiting for the green flag down Iris to actually come out. And green flag is out. Bobby Terrell with a little bit better start of the 43, Claude Ferlin this time. And Chuck Sweeting with an excellent start. It's going to be right behind the 4 entering turn number 1. Let's see if he can potentially pass Claude Ferlin, exit number 2. Does not look like it this time. Is there side by side the ball? A little bit of contact there. The second and third place truck.
What a save.
Excellent save, and they only lost 1 position, Kenny.
Wow, I thought they were both going to be. I thought that the whole field might have been wadded up in that one. That's a great save by both of those guys. And Nicholas Casey's probably, holding his breath on that one, but he was able to get through, and that's going to put him in second place. But whew, what a save there.
That was just excellent driving there by both of those guys. I know Claude Furlan pushed up the turn number 2, had to come down the track, trying to overcorrect from hitting the wall, as you're going to see right here. Just kind of comes up, back down, hits him, and then the second door slap actually kind of straightens him out, which is surprising, because I thought those guys were done for.
Another caution
is out for the second time on lap number 9 of scheduled 150. This time it's Tony Solari in that number 11 Menards Ford F-150. Looks like turn 4 is going to be the problem child today, as he actually comes across the nose of the guy who wrecked there last time, number 88 of Mark DeBriel. I'm going to get that camera shot for you in just a moment, but it looks like a 2-truck incident this time.
Yeah, and you mentioned that's where, your tough spot. Oh, here we go. Let me see here on new TV with Tony Sawyer on the low side, Mark up on the high. Yep, just kind of came up a little bit too much, and the 88, both wrecks, unfortunately. That one, he's kind of on the other end of it, but yeah, that's a big hit for Tony there. He kind of hit the wall a couple of times, so we'll see what can happen. But we're pretty early tonight, Jeremy. I mean, we're on lap 10 right now and had 2 cautions, so these guys are trying to get everything warmed up and get situated. You can see Chuck Sweeting coming down as well, so he's going to try and get some of that damage fixed, I think.
Yeah, that's a decent amount of hit there to his right side. And they've only had 3 or 4 laps on these tires for green flag situation, and I don't know if there's going to be a lot of tire wear to change, but we know Dover's one of those tracks where it eats it up really quick.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this track goes through tires really quick, as you said, and we'll see how that plays with strategy as well. I think we got a tire set. We got four sets of tires today, I believe, so 150 laps. We'll see how these guys kind of work through their tires and what kind of strategy they play.
Yeah, 4 sets of tires for sure, and that's early. You got another 139 laps, and you got to do it on 3 sets. Yes, and you know how you stay focused, Kenny?
Is it perhaps nerd focus?
That is absolutely correct. And the only way to do that, at least if it's not in your area, is to go to nerdfocus.com. You're going to use promo code Super Nerd for 10% off of their 2 flavors. Get the blue variant if you're watching a sugar, and if you just enjoyed the all-natural flavor, go with the green label. Both are super awesome, easy to drink, and yeah, that focus, it'll definitely keep you in check in exactly what you're doing in your day-to-day life. So once again, nerdfocus.com.
All right, let's see what happens on this restart. I think, Bobby Terrell had a great start, and Chuck did as well. They kind of got into each other, but we'll see what happens this time around. We're going to have Nicholas Casey up on the outside, and Claude's going to be on the inside, so Claude a little different than the last 2 starts.
Yeah, it's going to be, I'm kind of curious. This track's already proposed some dangers, treacherous area, especially in turn 4, as the number 88 especially has found both wrecks at this point. So we'll see if he can turn that luck around. I mean, he's only on lap 12, so he's got plenty of time, obviously. But right now, that 88's Mark DeBriel's got some luck to get rid of.
Yeah, he's got a bullseye on his truck, it looks like, front and rear. So see if he can kind of get that cleared off and get going. And these guys just want to get some laps down. We saw some of them spinning the tires there on the the first restart that we had on the last one. I saw just a couple of them. So we'll see what happens on this one if we have any more kind of spin that tires on the restart.
You got a new person starting in second place to contest that number 4, Bobby Terrell. This time it's going to be that number 86 of Mr. Nicholas Casey, who is 3rd place in points. So we have, minus Casey McMullen not be out, you have your top 2 contenders in 1st and 2nd right now. Kind of what you see in the actual life situations with the chase. You see the guys in points typically up front somehow rather than another, but we're going to see what they can do this time. Green flag is out in the sim right now. Excellent start there by Bobby Terrell. 86 Nicholas Casey looked like he was caught sitting still. It's going to bring Claude Furlan at 43 back to the inside, going to pass him for 2nd.
Yeah, great start there by Bobby Terrell. I mean, they took off. Even Claude Furlan sitting right there. He's going to squeeze up to that top side. As Nicholas Casey making a dive to the inside as they're heading down into turn 3. He's going to try to take that 2nd spot over, Jeremy.
Yeah, Claude made that really tight cut there on the exit of turn number 2. The 86 with a run on the top side said, nope, I want to give it another go. Passes the 43 this time off of turn number 4 to regain 2nd place. That's going to open the door for the number 32, Andrew Palicki, to try to take over 3rd.
Yeah, Nicholas Casey, we saw, had a great run there at the Bristol Dirt Track where he pulled away with that victory just 2 weeks ago. So he's trying to see if he can possibly get 2 out of the last 3 races here. But Bobby Trails, he's pulling away on him a little bit, Jeremy. He's definitely got some speed in that car or that truck. And then another one I'm keeping my eye on is Richie Coy. We haven't talked about him tonight, but he's sitting there in 5th spot, and we know he's always a dominant truck.
Yeah, he started 8th, currently 5th, 3 spots gained already in the short amount of green flag laps that these guys had. And as they're single file, I think that truck's, I'm going to have to agree with you. He's going to be one of the ones to keep your eye on to see that long run setup. Let's see if he can maintain those tires and make this thing moving.
Yeah, that Fury Motorsports knows how to get that long run setup going where they can just keep it going and the tires not really wear off as much. So it's definitely one to keep an eye on. We have Tony Sawyer that's already had that trouble. He's out. I don't know if he's out of the race. Let me see how far back. Nope, he's still in the lead lap. But then he's had some issues, and then Brody Hanna as well. So we'll see kind of where those Fury Motorsports end up.
A couple of these other drivers too out here. I know they're all single file, but Simon Magden was running pretty good in practice, only a couple tenths off, and he started 22nd last week's winner, and now he's already up to 11th. So he's already passed, double the amount of trucks, or half the amount of trucks that were in front of him to start this event. So, and also Brody Hanna, who started 24th, no qualifying time. He's already moved up 10 spots and found himself in 14th.
Yeah, he's kind of just probably following Simon through the field there because they started one behind each other. So just kind of moving their way through. As you see Brody there looking on the outside, tucks it back inside, going back on the inside. Now looks like he's going to make a pass, trying to gain another spot here. That's going to be on the inside of the 51 of Brandon Elder. Looks like he's going to be able to complete that pass coming off of 4. Now he's going to set his sights on Brandon Bliss and that 18 M&Ms. Brian Bliss.
Yep, that is definitely Brian Bliss there. And yeah, Brandon Elder, I'm kind of surprised. He was running excellent practice times. I think 3rd fastest, if I recall that right.
I believe that's right.
Yeah, and he started back in 16th and just kind of staying stagnant in 15th. So maybe he's one of those trucks that, let the tires come to him, and as the long run ticks away, he'll be able to gobble all these guys up.
Yeah, we were talking of, drivers that's making some moves up here, but kind of the opposite part of this where you don't want to hear about it. You have Jeff Langston, who started in 7th. He's dropped to 14th, so he's lost, the whole where he started pretty much in spots to 7 spots. And then, of course, we saw Chuck Sweeting get into it a little bit there, coming off of the 2, so he came down pit road. He started 4th. He's back in 22nd, so he's got some ground to make up. But it's early, Jeremy. Only 21 laps completed so far. Sorry, 20 laps completed of 150, so plenty of time.
Absolutely. And another shuffle, too, as you see him on your screen. You just had a nose shot of him, the 43, Claude Ferland. Started P2, falling back to 12th, it looks like, that last time by, and he's passed over by Brian Bliss and maybe Jeff Langston even. So he could potentially fall back to 14th. Looks like he'll keep 13th right now, but that guy's already fallen back 11 places since this last start.
Yeah, I wonder if there's any, with that contact with Chuck Sweeting, if he's had any damage to it that's kind of slowing him up. Had a little hard hit there in the driver's side, so we'll see what happens there after pit stops and see if he can get back up there. But looks like we got, still stretched out here. Bobby Terrell still leading the way, and then you got Nicholas Casey right behind him, and Andrew Pawlicki, Jeremy, creeped up into that top 3 with Alex Murphy in 4th and Richie Coy round out top 5.
It's great to see Andrew Pawlicki trying to stick his nose in there to try to get something going in that top 5. Doing a one hell of a job right now on that number 32 blue F-150. Another notation, too. You did mention Claude Ferland's truck with Chuck Sweeting. Chuck hasn't really moved since that pit stop and the green flags come out. He's still sitting in 22nd place.
Yeah, I've noticed that. He's kind of sitting back there, and then with Mark DeBrew and Christopher, who got into each other on that first caution. So I don't know if he's just not really pushing it. He's kind of just riding right now behind Kevin Rupert in the 1 truck. So I wonder if he's just trying to fill it out and see what happens, because you don't want to, you notice he got in a wreck with on lap 10 there off that restart. So he's probably just trying to, as we see Christopher there in the background, Jeremy, just taking the wall there off of 4. So like you said, 4 is just being treacherous tonight.
Yeah, that's already the 3rd incident that we've caught, in a matter of 25 laps. So, yeah, it's definitely not looking like it's a friendly corner tonight for sure. And he's already far in the back, but that's just going to further set him back, because he's sitting in 24th right now. Only person behind him is 3 laps down, Tony Solari, off that wreck. But that truck looks pretty beat up on that right side, all the way from the nose to the rear. Yeah,
it looks like, besides, of course, running into Mark there on that first caution, looks like he's kind of made some contact with the outside wall a couple of times. So, bad to worse, unfortunately. And it's just one of those nights, too, where you're like, okay, great. I got in a wreck on lap 10, and I'm just going to ride around for the next 140 laps and try to keep it together. And then, truck gets tight, hit the wall. It's just not an enjoyable night. But he's just going to probably try and see if he can gain some spots, whether it's from cautions or people falling out, whether something happens and gain some points.
Yeah, that truck's probably not feeling good, but you know what would make the truck feel good?
Tell me.
Gonna be the butt kicker. Awesome product you put underneath your chair. Makes everything in the car come right to your seat. All the bumps, all the feels. Second to none product. You're gonna go to thebuttkicker.com and you're gonna use your promo code, because we always have those for you. Nerd TV, 20% off of all their products.
Yeah, the Monster Mile is perfect for the butt kicker because it is going to be kicking your butt all night at this track. So, great product to have on there with this track. You know, with most of the tracks, but especially tracks like this.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well get like a little bit of a massage in your chair system, right? So essentially, if the track's going to kick your butt, you might as well do it while feeling good. So, these top 4 or 5 guys have really spaced out. Looks like Alex Murphy in that number 31's putting some decent pressure on the 32, Andrew Palicki. Outside of that, their guys are just single file and pretty spaced out.
Yeah, he ran him down pretty good there, and gonna have a nice little battle here for that third place. And we see Richie Coy's just sitting about a second back from these guys, so this could be what he needs to kind of move his way up. As we see a little slide there, looks like from Andrew Palicki. That's going to get the momentum. It looks like Andrew Palicki actually said he's going to let the 31 of Alex Murphy by. He's going to stay high, so that's going to put Alex Murphy in the 3rd position.
Yeah, I almost feel like he pushed up on the exit turn number 4, and if that is the case, you definitely don't want to see that only 30 laps in. That just shows the tire wear is going to get worse and worse and worse, so he might be one of those guys that would potentially fall back. And the next person really behind him is going to be that number 19, Richie Coy, that you said earlier you're going to keep your eye on. He's just kind of steadily keeping his place in 5th.
Yeah, slowly creeping his way up through there, and see if he can make up and get that top 3. And looking kind of through the field, Jeremy, see what we got going on. We see Quad Furwan's actually fighting with the 50 truck right now. They're fighting for that 12th place position as they're heading into 3 and 4. Looks like Martin Garreau's going to try and take that spot over, but Quad's not giving up as he's on the inside, and have a little battle here as they're going to go side by side coming across the line.
Yeah, this is actually the hot spot on the track right now. We got 5 trucks trying to duke it out. They're right now side by side for 2 rows, and you have the number 42 behind them, Zach McDaniel, trying to figure out what line to take, trying to pass. You see Claude Frere now on the inside trying to get around Martin Garreau there in that number 50. As they still keep it side by side. Garreau with a great launch off the corner, able to maintain it. That's kind of checking like Kenneth Scholes up. He looks like he's really just get around and go, but he's kind of being checked up here by these 2 guys.
You can see that he's trying to go, like you said, as you see Wayne Grassy here on this side. These guys are kind of just jumping all around trying to find the best line and the best way to go about it, because they got, like I said, these 5 trucks are kind of going at it, and Quad and Martin here running side by side. It might be holding up these trucks behind them, and that's bringing up that pack behind them as well. And just in front of them too, before that, Jeremy, there's about 4 trucks in front of the group in front, and they were fighting it out too. So we got a couple little battles here as they spaced out, but these 5 have still kind of keeping it going.
Yeah, they're keeping it entertaining for us up here in the booth for sure. You like to see it. There's a lot of trucks spaced out, so when we got action like this, 5 trucks not letting each other go, this is looking pretty fun. They're about to go maybe side by side again as Wayne Grassy goes to the bottom there for Zach McDaniel. Does not give him the entry into turn number 1, which looks like is the preferred line in these trucks so far after 36 laps.
And I saw up ahead Richie Coy. He was getting run down there by Steven Verman, and he go ahead and let Steven by, so now that's going to put him in the top 5 and put Richie Coy back in the 6th place. So a little bit change up there, but these guys kind of straightened it out here for a little bit, see what happens. But Zach McDaniel also looked like he had a good truck earlier as well, so I know he had a little bit of contact early in the race, but it still looks like he's fighting strong.
Yeah, I was actually going to say, keep an eye out on Mr. Vroom in the 00 yellow. Their Chevy Silverado. He cleared Richie Coy no problem. I was kind of, because Richie was all by himself, and then just in the matter of a few laps, that 00 just went by him in a hurry, and he's taken off. I think he's one of those guys that were saving the tires the first half of the run, and then let the speed come to him, and he's now already in a few laps going to be on that back bumper of Andrew Palicki for 4th.
He's coming in a hurry too, so we'll see what happens as we see Richie Coy. Looks like he's going to be getting passed here by Jeff Langston right behind him. So Richie's tires might have been wearing off a little bit. Looks like he's kind of falling back. We mentioned that he made his way up through here, and then as of late he's been coming back. But we'll see what happens. We still got some time, but Bobby Terrell is still leading the way, Jeremy. I mean, he's putting on a dominating pace right now.
1.6 seconds over second place, Nicholas Casey. And it is a points battle. You know, Casey's only a race back at 30 points. But, you know, if anything happens, he's going to be on his clutches there. So you got to keep him in check. Bobby Terrell's doing a hell of a job right now, trying to lead every single lap, or at least most of them, to maximize his points coming out of Dover for the final 2 races. Because even the track next week, like Darlington, you know, it's one of those tracks, too, that it's a really tight corner as far as like the racing group is concerned, and it could be tricky, and you might find yourself in trouble without even asking for it.
That's one you definitely have to look out for because it's just such an interesting track. And, you know, we mentioned this one's Monster Mile. Reach out and grab it. That one, they'll give you the black stripe, you know, the Darlington stripe. So it's the same way. So it's two tough racetracks. And that one is a little bit wider. I mean, the racing group is super short, but the track's a lot wider. So if there is a little accident, you have a better chance of saving it, unlike here at Dover. But 2 different tracks, but 2 different, you know, ranks of difficulty as well. So I'm excited for these last couple of races, Jeremy, see how this thing plays out.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I think we've commented a couple times, and I really like to appreciate the diversity of the schedule. You know, super speedway, bullring of a mile track, and then you have Darlington, which is, you know, all in its own category, and then you have the progressive banking of the cookie cutter of Kansas. So there's lots of different options out here in the last 4 weeks of the schedule, and for me personally, I love to see it. I know that a lot of people don't, just because they don't know the exact answer to the next 4 or 3 weeks, rather. So for us in the booth, we love this kind of thing.
Oh, absolutely. Well, love to see the schedule that's going on, and puts out good racing. So we see Jeff Langston here. He's trying to make his way up through the field, trying to run down that truck right in front of him. So see if he's got anything. That's Steven Verman. That's going to be in that top 5. So Jeff's kind of, you know, we mentioned him earlier. He kind of fell back, and then now his truck's coming on. So trying to make his way back up into the top 5. And then a little further back, been watching here. Back here in the back, you got Steve Loomis and Kevin Rupert, Mark Dubril. They're all kind of fighting it out there, a little bit back in the pack, and having a little battle as well. But it looks like they kind of single filed out a little bit. But it looks like they're going to have a little bit more racing coming here soon.
Now, I'm kind of keeping my eyes on the lap times, too, and Bobby Terrell and Nicholas Casey are still running the fastest laps of the race. Everybody else is kind of sorting through the field here, trying to gain as many spots as they can before whenever that first pit stop does come up. Keep an eye on there. Simon Magner, you're seeing him on your screen now with Brian Bliss exiting turn number 2 this time. Simon's, you know, he's gained 12 spots since the drop of the green flag, so kind of impressive what he's doing this week, and I'm sure he's on that momentum swing off of Talladega.
Yeah, definitely. And we're having a battle right here for this top 5. You got the 21 of Jeff Langston going on around this 00 Steph Verman, and then right in front of them, the 32 of Angel Palicki. He actually got a little loose coming off the corner, and that brought those guys a little bit closer. So we're going to have a battle here within the top 5, Jeremy.
Yeah, we sure are, and it's looking pretty good right now as Verman is on the tail of that 21. The 21's a great launch off of turn number 4. His truck looked a little sketchy, but is able to clear it no problem. But that 32 of Palicki has been creeping closer and closer to that 21's front bumper there. So just going to be a matter of a few laps before we probably will see that pass.
Yeah, we'll see what switch of position there, and you know, they're going to be looking ahead too, because not much further ahead on. I mean, it is quite a few to the 3rd place car. I take that back. Alex Murphy. They kind of setting his sights here on the top 2. As we see Jeff Langston making a pass on the inside, see if he can complete this on Angel Palicki and take over that 4th place here. And I think he's going to complete it. Yep, coming off of 2, he's going to make that pass.
Makes it happen. We got a lot of room that Palicki gave Langston, able to clear him no problem. He kind of like saved his tires and saved the speed loss just by giving him the spot. But now he's got the 00 there of Steven Vrooman right on his tail. Probably looking to do the same thing. Really, they kind of. You see the different lines right there, too. You see the 21 and 32 running that diamond middle of the track, comes down a little bit. And Vrooman's just kind of hugging the inside line right now.
Hold tight up in here, though. I'm kind of looking at these leader pack, too, as well. And Alex Murphy, he's a couple times now coming off of 4. You can see his back end kind of step out just a touch. So we'll see if those tires are taking effect. And still in the way, of course, Bobby Terrell and Nicholas Casey. But still great battle here for this top 5. As Richie Coy starting to make his way up in here, too, to get involved with this fight.
Yeah, Richie Coy is taking advantage of these guys running side by side for a little bit. See the 00 get around Palicki, and it looks like Richie Coy is going to do so the same. No problem there as he falls back at another spot to 5th place. It's going to allow Richie Coy to be in his. I actually know that. I take that back. He's now in 6th place as the 32 drops back to 7th. Brings Steven Vrooman inside the top 5.
And that makes you wonder, as far as if tires are starting to take an effect. Yeah, 17's coming down. Steve Loomis is coming down pit road, as we just heard. But back to Andrew Palicki, he was sitting up there in 3rd, and then slowly dropped off to 4th, and then real quick in the last couple of laps lost about 4 spots there, Jeremy. So I wonder if he's having those tires wear off a little quicker than he was hoping.
Yeah, it's such a drastic difference with these tires here. If you don't take care of them, it is a pain in the butt to drive the, whatever laps you have left until you come down pit road. See the 18, Brian Bliss, also making his way down pit road. So 2 trucks, early green flag stops this time as they are your race, or on the lead lap, that is. So a couple guys making their pit stops early on.
We should see some more start coming down. As we see right here, Simon Maggins coming down. You're going to have Quad coming down as well. So you see, I think it's the 50 there. Martin Garreau, he's also coming down as well. So all it takes is one, Jeremy, and they're all coming down. We got Alex Murphy, your 3rd place truck. He's coming down as well.
A little bit of team strategy with the 46 and 50 of Rumble Racing to make their green flag pit stops together. Let's see if it looks like they've hit their marks just fine so far. Clean stops all the way through for the 6 or 7 guys who've made their way down pit road, and you called it. As soon as one came down, you're going to see some more dip down, and it's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, and you see Alex Murphy right there. He's another part of that Rumble Racing, so he's going to add to make it 3 of them that came down. So he was a little bit further ahead. Alex Murphy, they did pull out, but we'll see what happens when they turn around. And we see Jeff Langston still going around the track. He's going to be sitting in 3rd place right now as Bobby Terrell and Nicholas Casey's still out there as well. Haven't come down to make their pit stop. So top 3 still remain the same. Top 2 because Jeff Langston moved his way up to 3rd place.
Yeah, looks like everybody else temporarily is going to stay on the racing surface, kind of extend their run out. It makes me wonder, is it all about tires here? We see Martin Garreau make a decent pass to kind of avoid Zach McDaniel. For turn number 4, he almost slapped the outside wall, keeps it going straight, no problem. We had such a huge speed difference. Like it's really hard to tell yourself to not pit early, but depending on the fuel mileage and everything, that might be the good call early on.
Yeah, it sounds like Zach McDaniel on the 42 is going to be coming down here. Just now makes something. Barely made it on the pit road, and he came in a little hot, but I think he got it woed down. But you saw that he barely got under that commitment line there. So he's going to bring that one down. He was right inside the top 10 before he came down.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very good stop there. If you can lock him up and just get down to speed just in time, that means you maximize your time, or minimize your time for that matter, entering pit road and exiting. So that could, potentially gain him a half a second to a second, which could be useful down the road. But it looks like it was all clean, so good stop by him, at least on the front half. But yeah, still waiting for more people to come down. No one else is really taken. We still have probably, half the field that needs to come down?
I would say so. I think we've got about half the field as well, maybe just a touch over that. 13 drivers or so, I think, is what I'm looking at that still need to make pit stops. And, we're on lap 60, Jeremy. We're coming 15 more laps. We'll be halfway through this race. And some of these guys are going to definitely stretch it out to making it just a 2-stop if it goes green, a 2-stop pit stops. So we'll see kind of where they start coming down. And it'll be interesting to see when Bobby Terrell or Nicholas Casey come down. I think if Bobby Terrell comes down first, you're going to see Nicholas Casey right behind him that doesn't want to lose any time, because we know Bobby Terrell's fast, and getting some fresh tires on there, that's not going to be good.
Yeah, one thing with him is he can kind of control this, right? He had, of course, not Nicholas Casey, but after him, he has a 9-second lead over now Jeff Langston in 3rd, who's making a great charge here in the late run. When you have 9 seconds to play with, though, you basically can just pit whenever you want, whenever you feel like your truck just needs it. You're not trying to play the strategy because you don't need to make up any extra ground. So he's got the ball in his court to try to figure it out. You see Sylvain Jolly also come down pit road. His car was looking really slow, almost slapped the wall a couple laps ago. You see him hitting his stops right now. One of those trucks that were really, really in need of some new tires.
And, looking at the lap times here, Bobby Terrell, he was running he ran a 24.6 there when he was by himself, and Alex Murphy, who was in your 3rd position before he came down pit road, was running a second faster than him on those fresh tires. So that's how much of a difference you're making up there. You got a whole second faster from new tires to old tires, and that's from your first who was third place truck. So that's kind of two similar the trucks there. Bobby Trell was ahead a little bit, but Alex Murphy, he had the speed. So that puts him one lap down as well. So it'll be interesting to see where he comes out, especially if Bobby Trell runs some more laps out here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of curious to see how far he does push this thing before he does come down to pit road. He is in control, so maybe he's trying to extend the field to the maximum. Maybe get one less green flag stop. With those tires, there's so much of a speed difference that you actually might want to take the extra stop because it actually might be faster in the long run.
Yeah, if this thing goes green, it might not be a bad idea. And kind of how we've seen throughout the season, Jeremy, it's like they have a couple cautions here back to back, and then green flag run for almost to the very end or to the very end. So kind of the same way here tonight. We had those two quick ones. Everyone kind of settled down, and now here we are. Coming up we're on lap 66. So got 50 laps or more of green flag run here. So it's a great showing so far, and this is the racing that we're used to seeing here at Full Throttle Sim Racing.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen quite a few passes 2x2x2. We've seen some quick maneuvers to avoid some wrecks. These guys are doing it good, man. You guys always running clean and competitive with one another.
And they're in great battles right now too, just because we have guys with fresh tires, and then a couple here. Simon Madigan, he's going around Kenneth Scholes and Brody Hanna here, and he's kind of got those fast tires rolling as well. So action all over the track, just wherever we look, we're seeing it. And I think Chuck Sweeting, I believe, is coming down pit road right now, the 75. So that's going to put 9, I believe, that haven't come down pit road yet.
He's the last guy right now on the lead lap. He does come down to pit road, dips down really clean, like right in front of some people, hits his marks. Great stop entrance there by Chuck Sweeting. He's currently 10th on the racing surface. That means we got about 9 left before everyone's all cycled through.
Yeah, Chuck Sweeting, he did make that pit stop after he had that contact there with I'm drawing a blank here, and it's going to come back with me. But when he had that accident, they're coming off of 2. I'm not sure if he took fuel or not, but we know that he could stretch it out. But yeah, that's going to put 8 now. I believe Kenneth Schultz also came down pit road, so that's going to be 8 now that we're having on the lead lap.
Looks like our producer Dustin quick fact checked his tires. He did not take tires on that stop. I think that was solely for just topping off the field and getting that damage repaired for maximum repaired on the right side, because when you change the tires, you don't really work on the car. So they probably just maximized that stop to get all the fenders in a line there.
Yeah, I believe so. I wouldn't imagine him taking tires on that one, but could see him definitely topping off a little bit. And that was Claude Furwan that I was drawing a blank on for some reason when they got into it. But as we see the 88 here, Mark DeRue, he's coming off the pit road. We got a couple more that's come down. We're still about 8 on the lead lap, and Bobby Trell still leading the way as we see over Nicholas Casey, about just over a second and a half ahead. Alex Murphy, though, Jeremy, that's one I want to keep my eye on. Like I said, he was pretty fast, and the way he was getting around, I want to see after all these pit stops cycle through how this is going to play out, because I'm kind of intrigued right now how this is going to play.
Yeah, same here. There's such a huge difference in the laps. Like, I think the first guy started pitting, 20 laps ago? So there's such a huge variety of laps now on these set of tires. So you're going to see this for a while now. You're going to see these fast guys passing the guys that are really slow. But then when you see the number 4, Bobby Trell and Nicholas Casey, and then pit, all of a sudden they're going to have the really fast truck, as they're going to be 20 or so laps fresher tires on the guys that pitted first. So there's going to be a lot of mix up here. There's going to be a lot of passes. They're going to happen pretty quick in perspective. Probably for the remainder of the race, really, as we're closing in on halfway.
Yeah, we're just 2 laps away from being halfway through this race, and Nicholas Casey gained half a second on Bobby Trell that last time by, and then he had 2 of the faster trucks that already had pit stops come by right there, the 42 and the 50 that already made their pit stops, and he had to get out of the groove, and that put him basically that half a second back. But he was making some ground up there on Bobby Trell. As we see, you're going to see the 42 here of Zach McNeil coming up on the back of Bobby Trell, and looks like Bobby's just going to move up a little bit and let him on by, because he definitely has the fresher tires and faster truck right now.
Andrew Plicky makes it down pit road, currently sitting in 6th place. He will give that up for 4 fresh Goodyears and a full tank of gas. So it's going to leave about 7 trucks left to make their entrance down pit road. And that is on lap 76, just halfway. So by my math there, I don't know who all pitted or took gas anyways on that lap 10 caution, but if we're halfway now, Bobby Trillo actually making his call. He's coming down pit road this time by, and he's letting Martin and them go by. Race leader making his pit stop here. Looks like with the 86, Nicholas Casey makes a late decision.
Great stop.
So, yeah, super great stop. He closed that 1.6 second disadvantage all the way down to nothing, and he almost cleared the water barrels because so.
That was, I mean, what a pit stop. I mean, I thought he was going to go around for a second, and then he just came in there with a good amount of speed, as we see here on Nerd TV. We're going to see Nicholas Casey just come down. We'll slip up by Bobby Trillo, and just perfect entrance here, right on there. Like you said, barely missed the barrels, and let's see where he comes out, Jeremy, because he gained, like you said, a lot of time there.
If that's how you want to do a pit stop, that is exactly how you want to do it. Nice and clean, don't take anybody out, and he just gained 1.6 seconds on your race leader. That's a huge amount of time gain, and actually exiting on pit road, they are side by side, essentially off of the right outside the line there, but he gave it back up because this apron is so tiny, especially off of turn number 2. So that's going to allow the number 4 to just barely have the advantage over the 86 as they exit onto the racing surface.
Man, that's going to put them 3 wide for a second here as Wayne Grassy goes, as the 86 jumped up on the high side of Bobby Tyrrell there. Birdie Hand, I believe, has already made his pit stop. Alex Murphy, like we mentioned, Steven Verman, all of them, and they're ahead of him after this pit stop. So they're 3 wide again as we're going to enter in the 1. Looks like the 1 car, Kevin Rupert's going to back out, and Nicholas Casey's taking advantage of this where he can and getting ahead of Bobby Tyrrell early.
Yep, takes the race lead. Let's see if they can get around all these guys. And like I commented about 10 laps ago, it's going to be one of those times now where you're going to have lap cars and slower trucks just going to be in front of you at all times. So, you know, the faster guy to get around the traffic is going to be the one that's going to look the best here in the back half of this race.
And there's 5. Looks like we got 5 trucks on the lead lap right now. Jeff Langston, as we see on our TV, sitting in that first spot. Kevin Rupert starting 20th. Going to be in second with Wayne Grassy in 19th and third. Kenneth Schultz is going to be in 4th. That's actually going to be the only 4 cars on the lead lap, as Birdie Handy just went a lap down as well. So a couple more that we have to come down pit road here and complete this pit cycle, and then we'll see where everyone else kind of pans out after that.
Absolutely. And while we're waiting on these pit stops to conclude here, we're just past halfway, so I'd like to kick it over to a visual thank you to all of our sponsors. So we're going to go side-by-side action with you guys and give some thanks. We'll be back with you in a few short minutes.
Are you ready to chase the moonlight? Community-based and talent-driven, Moonlight Speed Concepts has what you need to take your iRacing experience to the next level. Founded by passionate owners that care about the community and housing some of the top setup builders and drivers on the platform, Moonlight Speed Concepts offers custom paints, driver coaching, and setups for dirt, asphalt short track racing, and e-NASCAR competition. Partnered with top brands in both real world and simulation. Follow us on Facebook or visit moonlightspeed.com and find out why these businesses chase the moonlight and why you should too. Moonlight Speed Concept, where all we chase is moonlight.
Welcome back to full screen coverage on Nerd TV. During that commercial break, it looks like everyone has pitted, and it's going to cycle your leaders right back to Nicholas Casey. Other than I think the 31 is the only one that has not pitted this time. Nicholas Casey's jumped out to a 4.3 second lead over the dominant Bobby Tyrrell up to this point. And I think it's virtue of just being able to get around the lap traffic better than the next guy.
Yeah, I think you're correct on that one. And Alex Murphy in the third one, he did come down. He came down. He was one of the first few that came down, but he did do it. But I mean, Nicholas Casey and Bobby Tyrrell, as late as they came down, their tires are, as we were mentioning, are going to be so much. They're just, so many laps that are on Alex Murphy's tires now. We saw how much time he gained, but now he's kind of losing it all. But Bobby Tyrrell, let's see if he can run him down, because Nicholas Casey, as he came out, we saw him pass on the out. We went to commercial break, we saw him make that pass on the outside, and he just took off, Jeremy. He's gone.
Yeah, actually, I see that Alex Murphy did pit back on lap number 54. So it's been 40 laps almost since he came down for his set of tires, and you see the difference there. He's still running in second, but he is dropping almost a second a lap this time. So you're going to see Bobby Tyrrell pass him in just a few laps, I would imagine. But Nicholas Casey just completely flipped this thing around. He was second, third place for a while, kind of just 1.7, 2 seconds back, and then had a crazy entrance in the pit road, cleared up all the time that he had behind, and then he took advantage of it. Now he's got this huge lead.
And what lap did you say he came down, Jeremy?
54.
Okay, and Nicholas Case came down 77. So we're talking almost 20 laps difference, 17 lap difference there on the tires that Alex Murphy put down before Nicholas came in. And we can see the difference now. He's already pulled 4 seconds on him. And Bobby Tyrrell's coming up on the 31 of Alex Murphy as well.
And you can see that stat there on your screen there, the yellow and the blue, that shows you the difference really in the pit stops. So huge fluctuations across the board there, at least for first and third, Nicholas Casey and Bobby Tyrrell. A lot later than these other guys, than like the 31 of Alex Murphy that we talked about. So you're going to see that in the lap times. Yeah, it's about a second difference between first and third and everybody else. So that's just product of short pitting so early. You're going to make an extra pit stop because of it, but the time might be worth it.
And Bobby Tyrrell's kind of fell off a little bit in this last couple of laps. He's lost some time. I'm not sure what's going on with that setup, because his truck is definitely not looking like it did the first half of this race. So right now, he's one I'm going to keep an eye on. He lost a little bit more time on that last lap. So we'll see what happens. As we see, Kenneth Schultz looks like he's going to be going on the inside here of Nicholas Casey. He's going to try and get one of his laps back. The same thing with Jeff Langston. Those guys came down for their pit stops a little bit after Nicholas Casey did. So we'll see if they can get a couple laps back. But yeah, they're still going to be 1 lap down even after making that pass.
Yeah, Jeff Langston was in third place before he came down the pit road, and just seeing him trying to get his lap back, which he does so this time. I didn't see anything went wrong, but I'm quite curious to know what exactly happened on his pit stop that dropped him back so far.
Yeah, that'll also put him in that lucky dog position too. So, good spot for him. He's got Mark DeGrill right the next car. That's our next truck that's going to be a lap down. and I don't see him anywhere kind of to worry about. So if he keeps going this way, he'll be sitting in that good spot. But Brian Bliss, actually, he might be going a lap down, Jeremy. So it's getting close here. I think Chuck Sweeting just is going to go a lap down. So it's going to be a close battle for this lucky dog spot.
Yeah, you see the number 18, Brian Bliss, go lap down right there. But Chuck Sweeting's able to quickly gobble him up. So Chuck Sweeting temporarily is going to be the first driver 1 lap down in that lucky dog spot. If Chuck Sweeting, he's rooting for that caution right now. Let's go. Let me get back from this lead lap. I want to show these guys what I got. But yeah, Nicholas Casey just up to a 6.4 second advantage over Bobby Terrell. I don't know what he did on his truck on that pit stop, but that thing is on a whole different reel.
Yeah, he definitely has been taken off there since, like I said, since that pit stop. And as you were mentioning there, Bobby Terrell ended up going around Alex Murphy there for the second spot. So, but they going around there, they had a little contact, and now they're sitting 10 seconds back, Jeremy. So that little bit of contact there between Bobby Terrell and Alex Murphy has cost them quite a bit of time.
Yeah, it really has. Ever since that contact early on, really just messed up how that truck was driving. And you got some people on pit road, including that 43 of Claude Ferlin, who's just now hitting his second stall from exit. I think about 4 or 5 trucks came down that time by. So this is going to be their final green flag stop, as long as the green flag does stay out. 18, Brian Bliss, barely made it down to speed in time. You saw that on Nerd TV. He's got Martin Garreau right behind him in that black and blue Chevrolet Silverado. So quite a few guys making their second and final stop.
Yeah, and with Nicholas Casey, the way that he's won, he has a 10-second lead. So if he can keep this thing going the way that he did last time, we'll see how the fuel strategy, because we know we had that caution. He might have to come down and just do a splash and go, or splash with 2 tires. We'll see what happens, or he might even just come and take the full thing with everyone else. But he came down on lap 77, and like so, we had a little bit of caution laps there. So we'll see exactly how many laps he can come in, but he'll be close to being towards the finish there. So we'll see what Nicholas does when he decides to come down. But that's a long ways away. We still got some guys coming in and off the pit road right now.
Yeah, Brian Bliss leaving the pit road right now. A couple more guys in there in the stalls getting some service done. Martin Garreau. He's having a really long stop. He was coming down there with that 18, and he's still on pit road getting that truck service. I'm not sure what's going on with him. You see the 46, Martin Garreau, also making his stop. Maybe getting word that the 50 did actually speed down pit road, making his stop, and he's probably being held for that service as he is let go now. So that's going to hurt for that 50.
Yeah, the 46 came. That's Simon Magnan. There was in 4th place when he came down too. So he had a good strong run before he comes down to make his pit stop. We're gonna kind of put back on 7 back on the lead lap, Jeremy, because we noticed that we just had. It felt like it was just a couple laps ago we had the pit stops from the leaders, but it was such a far difference from the first set of drivers that came down to Nicholas Casey and Jeff Langston and all those in the last set.
Yeah, you're not wrong, and yeah, it's 7 drivers that have the lead lap. Everybody else is 1 lap down or more. We got 5 1 lap down, and then another 3 to go 2 laps down at this time, which is huge. There's 25 guys in this field, and only 7 are on the lead lap. And Sylvain Jolly, the last one on the lead lap, he's 23 seconds back. So that means that Nicholas Casey in the 86 he's getting close.
Yeah, he's right on the heels. You can see him there as he's coming in to the picture there. He's not that far away. He's right behind Brody's his next one on the list to put Brody 2 laps down, and then to see if he can gain up on Sylvain Jolly there and put him a lap down. So blistering pace Nicholas Casey's putting on. We see Bobby Trails gain some time. He gained about 2 seconds on Nicholas, and that's probably with Nicholas fighting through traffic. Actually gained a little bit more time on that last lap. So maybe Bobby's trail truck finally came in a little bit later in the run than earlier. So we'll see what he can kind of come out of this thing. But we're going to be coming here shortly with about 40 laps to go in just a couple laps.
Yeah, Bobby Terrell's last time was a 24.3. The Nicholas Casey 24.5. So yeah, about 2/10 that last lap. So maybe he's finally found a way to get around these drivers faster, or maybe he's found a new groove. But he's got a lot of time to make up. Still 8.8 seconds back.
And Nicholas Casey is not going to have any shortage of trying to get around drivers because they're all over the place. As we see a battle, he's going to have to get around some and let some go. As we see Brian Bliss, I believe he just made his pit stop, so he's going to have fresher tires, so he's going to be trying to make a pass here on the inside. We hear Chuck Sweeting in the 75. He's going to be coming down. That's your 8th place truck right now. So he's coming down pit road to make his second pit stop of the day. As we see Brian Bliss going by here trying to get a lap back. Mark DeReal's trying to get himself a lap back. So that might slow up Bobby Terrell as well, Jeremy, as he's trying to make his, or not slow up Bobby Terrell, but slow up Nicholas Casey and bring Bobby Terrell a little closer.
That's exactly what Bobby needs, and he's already gained a half a second since the last time I called out his lap times about 2 or 3 laps ago. So that's a good little comeback there. Let's see if he can keep that momentum up and gets where he needs to. But yeah, down from 8.3 or 8.8 rather to 8.3. So half a second in about the past few laps.
Yeah, gaining some time, and I've been watching him these last couple of laps as well, and he's timing these passes perfectly where some of these trucks with the faster tires are going by him, and he's setting it up perfect where he's getting ready to go into the corner. They'll dive in there and he'll just fall right in suit, so he's not losing much time. We see Nicholas Casey get a little coming off the corner, sliding down to the inside there with Berta Hinn on the outside, so his truck's fighting it as well. As we hear on the radio, Bobby Terrell doing one of those passes I mentioned where he's going to say hi and let him go and not lose much time.
He was actually fighting that 17 there for about a lap and lets him go. He lost 2/10 on Nicholas Casey that time by. So he just let the 17 go, and he's going to focus only on himself the rest of the way through here. We're on lap 115 now, scheduled 150. That's 36 laps to go. So I think still at this point in time with only 36 to go, Bobby's going to need a caution if he wants to do anything with Nicholas Casey. But Nicholas, he wants these points. He wants to inch closer to Bobby Terrell's lead there in the points.
We see Sylvain Jolly. He made his way down pit road and walked his tires up, sliding, trying to avoid speeding on pit road, and he came down in a hurry. I mean, he walked him up. He hit about 70, 60 miles an hour going by the barrels, and we'll see if he got caught for speeding, Jeremy, because he came in a hurry and walked it up. But he was in 6th spot too when he came down.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the officials call that one. Alex Murphy, also one of those drivers who locked him up here as he's entering pit road right now, headed toward his pit stall. Decent amount of smoke off the front tires of that thing. Good thing he's getting those tires changed, though. You don't need those, but cutting it really close. Going back to the race leaders, Nicholas Casey has lost another half a second to Bobby Terrell, 7.5 back now. They're trending. They're getting a little bit closer than what I was even thinking.
Yeah, and Nicholas is still putting on a performance here, but Bobby Terrell, his truck is definitely coming in. We only have 4 here on the lead lap, and I expect Richie Coy to probably be one of the next out of that 4 to come down. We know Jeff Langston went the longest on that last green flag run with Bobby Terrell and Nicholas Casey coming down at the same time. So we'll see where these last 4 go, and again, fresh tires are going to play a factor as well.
Yeah, there's just a lot of guys on different strategies. The speed's just all over the map. It's really hard to tell who's doing what at this point in time. But another 4/10 gained on Nicholas Casey from Bobby Terrell puts him just over 7 seconds now. And they're approaching lap 120, so it's going to put him at 32 laps to go at the line this time. Making some good ground up. You see the 50 Martin Garreau there trying to make a pass on Bobby that could hinder his performance this lap.
Yeah, not too bad though. You can see they kind of timed it perfectly. He's going to keep that movement on the high side, bring it back down low. But we'll see where he kind of comes around there on this next one. But I think he does have a long run setup, Jeremy, and he's we'll see if we get to ask him if he finishes here in the top 3 where he's been all day. But we'll ask him how that setup is.
Yeah, and one thing that setup needs is a little bit of extra grip. And you know where you get that grip from, Kenny?
Is this grip for your car or is this grip for your hands?
For your hands.
Ooh.
You're going to head over to martinsports906.com. Hashtag get a grip. You haven't seen any lucky dogs, so we'll throw the hashtag out there right now for you. You're going to go to martinsports906.com. Check out their collection of sim racing gloves. Excellent product, the best in all sim racing, really. Keep your hands fresh and dry no matter how long your race is. And use Super Nerd at checkout. 25% off anything that you purchase, especially the sim racing gloves, which best in the business, Kenny.
Best in the business.
And also pre-orders are live as well for the nerd stuff. We've been promoting Nerd Swag for a while, and it's there for pre-order. We got a glove out there A couple other pieces of merchandise. Go check out our official page, Nerditudes, on the martinsports906.com website. It is finally there after about a 2-month of just advertising it, and they look clean. They look fresh. I can't wait to get my hands on one myself.
I'm right there with you. I can't wait to get them. I enjoyed the ones we got, but get a little bit of Nerditudes goals would be nice. But as we see here, you got fast tires of the 31 there of Alex Murphy going around Bobby Terrell. Just lets him go on by, and Nicholas Casey's still keeping that pace on Bobby Terrell, sitting about 7.2 seconds ahead. So we'll see where these pit stops come around. If Nicholas Casey can nail it like he did last time, it's going to be hard to gain any time on him if he can come down just as quick as he did.
Yeah, we got 4 guys only left on the lead lap. Richie Coy is the last person on the lead lap, 21.5 seconds back of your race leader, Nicholas Casey. Nicholas Casey, these past few laps, have actually gained on Bobby Terrell, and there's nobody in front of Terrell. He's just all by himself. So it's just kind of showing that run that he had is kind of worn off. So Nicholas just has to hit his marks here. We're on lap 126. That's 25 laps to go. And he's kind of setting up a late run pace here that's unmatched by anybody.
Yeah, he's blistering pace, Jeremy. He's just setting sail. Kind of mentioned it earlier. He's trying to go 2 out of the last 3 races, getting a win. Took it home at the Bristol Dirt Race. Coming to the Monster Mile, trying to take it home as well. He's going to have 24 laps to go. The pit stops, though, that's the one thing I want to look at. I want to see when him and Bobby are going to be coming down. Like I said, they went to lap 77, but they also had a little caution. So it'll be interesting to see where they kind of funnel out and where it cycles them through. And the thing is, if they can make it all the way, they'll be fine. But if they can't, Jeremy, they got to come in. We saw last time they got passed by handful of trucks before they were able to run them back down. So if they do need to come down, they might want to do it sooner than later.
Yeah, I mean, they got such a huge lead right now with the laps taken away, but some of these other guys they're doing a lot. They're gaining a lot of spots back. You just can't really tell because there's a bunch of guys that are 1 lap down, and we're just kind of seeing them shift as they will. But if he can make it, yeah, that's a good process there to think about. They did come around 77 or so. That was just past halfway, but they did have that caution on lap 10. So they topped off then. That could very well have been the whole stretch of their field mileage, which would have been about 67 laps or so, which will not make you that halfway distance pit stop they took. So you're right. I think you'll have to keep that in the back of your mind. We don't know up here in the booth exactly what that field mileage looks like, and they could be cutting it close.
Yeah, it's going to be a close one, I believe. So we'll see how it plays out. But right now, Nicholas Casey's still having a fight, whether he's passing or getting passed. I mean, look behind him. You got these, you see a little closer between Alex Murphy and the 00, Stephen Verman. A little closer coming off 4. 17 is going to go around him as well. See Alex Murphy going on the inside of Kenneth Schultz. Going to be making that pass. No problem as they're heading off at 2. Alex Murphy's fresh tires, though. He's definitely showing that car's strong on the short run.
Yeah, I mean, super strong all around, really. Seeing Bobby Terrell just getting passed up by a lot of guys. He's already fallen off a whole second in the past couple of laps, and he's letting the 32 or the 75 right now this time around, and just kind of falling back real quick. That charge that he kind of ended up ruined his tires, really. He's just falling back to 9 seconds now, so definitely needs a caution if he wants to do anything other than second. But if he keeps that wheel on nice and tight, just kind of get around this track for another 18 laps, it looks like. He's going to have second place locked in.
And he knows that Casey's not here. He saw it when he started this race, going, okay, this is going to be a great day. Maybe I just need to settle in, get a great points day, nice finish. I mean, even if he finishes now in second place, that's going to be a huge gain. He's going to be probably 30 spots ahead of Casey. The only one that's going to be ahead of him, of course, is Nicholas Casey, who was sitting, I believe, about 30 points as well back. So worst case, if he's finishing second, he's still going to have a great points lead as he heads into 2 races to go.
Yeah, that's a great point there, and he can give up a couple points to Nicholas Casey and be okay. Nicholas, like we said in the pre-race, he's 30 points back out of Bobby Terrell. It's going to be about 28 or so, roughly, going into 2 races left. So, I mean, if you split that in half, that's only 15 points you need to gain on the person each time, and which could very well happen. There could be mistakes, but these guys rarely make any. So the chance is there, but it's slim. But you want to put yourself in a position where you can at least capitalize if you can.
Yeah, mistakes are rare here with the full throttle sim racing, and if you know if you can make it, capitalize on it, definitely take advantage of it. But it's going to be hard. You know, Nicholas Casey, without a caution, I don't think anyone's going to be able to catch him tonight. We're sitting with 15 laps to go. He's been on a rail. I mean, he's back up to 8.5 seconds over Bobby Terrell. So, other than if we have a little pit strategy play into a factor, I think, you know, he's going to be sitting pretty in this one. And he can take it easy, too. He's got such a great lead stretched out over all these guys. But still 4 on the lead lap, Jeremy. Everyone else is sitting a lap down. So, even if we have a caution come out, that's going to shake up a lot of stuff.
It's about to be 3 laps, really. And Richie Coy's 2/10 slower than Nicholas Casey, and they're on the same straightaway. Richie is that 4th truck in the standings right now, the last one on the lead lap. So he might actually get really close to that turn 4 wall. Had to check up there. He might be falling to the clutches here as we're about 14 laps away from getting this Dover 150 finished up.
And, you know, it's just a dominance by Nicholas Casey. Bobby Terrell in the first half, Nicholas Casey in the second half. Really, we saw Bobby Terrell leading all the way till they made that pit stop there on lap 77, and then ever since then, Nicholas Casey kind of took the rest over. So those two have been dominating the field, and it shows. I mean, look at everyone, you know, on that leaderboard. You see lap down, multiple cars, 2 laps down, 3 laps down. So it's just dominance by those two guys. And I think if I did my math right, I think Bobby Terrell actually, Jeremy, might have locked up the most laps led tonight as well, since they came down on 77. So that could help play a factor with another point being added.
Yeah, I don't have that stat in front of me, and it almost feels like this is true. So it could equal out things here, as there only 1 point separates those two. So either around 28, 29, or 30 points back will be the final result here when this thing's said and done. And you got to keep yourself in the position, even though it's not going to work out for him tonight. It does seem to be so. But if he can set himself up with being in the top 2 spots in the next 2 races, that's all you can do. You just got to wait for anything to happen, unfortunately, to Bobby Terrell, or like this case where you saw Casey McMullen not even show up.
Yeah, and so far, I mean, he's made all the races too, so it's an odd one that's there. But Bobby Terrell, he's Nicholas Casey, Simon Madigan, Chuck Sweeting, all those guys have made all the starts so far, and Bobby Terrell's already had 2 wins this season. Casey McMullen won, and Nicholas Casey won as well. So we keep going. We got 9 laps to go here, and I think they're going to stretch this out. So that possibly could give Nicholas Casey his 2nd win, and not really bring up the points too much, but it's still a great finish. But 9 laps coming up on 8 laps to go here.
Yeah, I feel like at this point they'd be saving gas, if anything, to make it the rest of the way, because there's no hurry. There's 9 seconds separating 1st to 2nd, and then another 10 seconds separates 2nd from 3rd. So, I mean, even if you were probably tight, they probably have that clutch pedal on hand, ready to go, and they could save a ton of fuel. So I do believe they are going to make it to the end as well at this point in time, with just 7 laps to go at the line.
And if so, what a strategy. I mean, taking it all the way, 1 stop, blister and pace, dominating performance here, and still being able to kind of carry it off and set it off into the sunset. So great strategy overall. And Richie Coy's sitting out there in front of him like, I'll be 4th either way, but I want to stay on the lead lap. Don't pass me. And he's kind of pulled a little bit away from him on Nicholas there. And like you said, could be Nicholas saving a little bit of fuel, but Richie definitely doesn't want to go a lap down.
Yeah, I'm just kind of watching the onboard to see what his RPM gauge looks like, and I don't think he's saving the gas. He's just taking it super easy around these corners. No need to put pressure on yourself as you're coming up to 5 laps to go this time by.
Yeah, 5 laps to go. Your top 3 are still sitting Nicholas Casey, Bobby Terrell, and Jeff Langston. Great run by Jeff Langston, Jeremy. We see that Oreo truck sitting P3 right now, going to try and get himself a podium finish. We saw him stretch it out there on that first run, and that's going to put him in position basically the same as his top 2, where he doesn't have to make a pit stop and only do this on a one-stop shop.
Yeah, excellent run there by that number 21 Oreo Chevy Silverado. Has been pretty strong all race long. Of course, you're not as strong as the 2 leaders. They're on a different zip code, but outside of that 21's been putting on a pretty strong performance to kind of get this season kind of wound down.
Yeah, this will give him his 2nd top 10 of the year and his 1st top 5. So great performance. We just finished this off, 4 laps to go. He's a rookie in the series too, so it's his first year out here. So great to see him, add another top 10 and his first top 5 of the season if we can finish this thing out in 4 more laps.
Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of passing going on, but nothing too major. I expect the green flag to stay out the entire time, but I guess we'll officially find that out in 4 or 3 laps or so from this point. But a lot of these guys doing pretty good. The strategies are all over the place, and we've kind of learned that it looks like the one-stop shop is going to be the way to go tonight. It doesn't usually play out that way, at least in my experiences at Dover. But in this case, it's worked out great for him. With the open setups, if you have that setup tweaked for the long run, it's definitely going to show, and that's exactly what we're seeing out of the 86, the 4, the 21, and the 19.
Yeah, just great strategy overall, great performance and driving race. We're coming to the white flag right now, 1 lap to go. Nicholas Casey's going to bring it around, 7.5-second lead, and just take it easy as he's coming off of turn 2. He's only got 1 turn left, Jeremy, and he's going to see that checker flag.
Yep, 2 official corners left in the Dover 150. You see Nicholas Casey for the final time. He coming off turn number 4 is going to get win number 2 of the season. Checker flag is out for Lake Larry. Nicholas Casey, winner of the Dover 150.
Yes, 2 out of the last 3. Great run by Nicholas Casey. You see Bobby Terrell is going to be coming off. He's going to come out in 2nd place. He's going to finish about 8 seconds behind him. And then, like we said, about another 10 seconds, you got Jeff Langston there. He looks like he's going to be rounding at that top 3. Great run by those guys.
Yeah, excellent performance for quite a bit of people. But, you just because they finished 1 lap down doesn't discount them. Dover's a tough track. And if you got a couple guys that know a thing or two, then everybody else just runs, they're still running really fast lap times out there. But sometimes you just can't compete with a good setup, and looks like Casey and Bobby kind of brought that system along, and Casey able to dominantly on the back half of this thing as you see him doing some burnouts. I'm going to close out the 150 of Dover with the W.
Yeah, it was a great, as we see him celebrating. Ooh, a little too much stuff, just bouncing off the inside wall. Good thing it's virtual racing. The crew won't get mad at you for that. Won't have to fix it. But, I was kind of hearing a little bit of radio chatter, and it sounds like there was quite a bit of, I know Richie Coy was doing a little bit of clutch in there, save some fuel. So we might have missed them saving fuel as far as that goes. But sounds like Richie Coy was actually clutching it a little bit there.
Yeah, I heard that comment from Langston come over the radio and quite surprised. But let's go and go down the official running order, or the finishing order, rather. We see Nicholas Casey, of course, and number 86 take home the checker flags this evening. Bobby Terrell does round out in 2nd place. Jeff Langston in 3rd. Richie Coy in 4th. Everybody else has 1 lap down or more. We see Kevin Rupert there finishing in 5th. Andrew Palicki ends up in 6th. 7th place belongs to Claude Furland. 8th place, you'll find Zach McDaniel. 9th place, Simon Magden, last week's winner. And to round out the top 10, Wayne Grassi.
And 11th place, had a fast car of the night, just didn't get the finish he wanted, Alex Murphy. 12th is Sylvain Jolly. 13th is going to be Chuck Sweeting. 14th is Mark Dubril. 15th, Brody Hanna. 16th is going to be Kenneth Schultz. Brian Bliss coming home in 17th. Steve Loomis going to be in 18th. 19th is going to be Stephen Verman. 20th is Martin Garreau. 21st, Brandon Elder. 22nd is going to be Lane Allen. 23rd is Michael Blackner. 24th, Chris Stouffer after that early incident. And rounding out the field in 25th, unfortunately for him tonight, is Tony Solari, who had that little mishap there on early laps of the race. So that's going to put him in our final position.
And that's going to bring the Martin Sports post-race show, presented by, of course, Martin Sports, to your screen. We got some drivers to talk to. See Jeff Langston. I think he's ready for his interview. Not too sure if we have Terrell on hand. And then, of course, Nicholas Casey should be available for us as well. I see Bobby Terrell actually did show up in the queue, so he's good to go there. I'm going to see if we can grab Mr. Langston, your 3rd place finisher of the night. Jeff, you got a copy?
I do.
Hey, man, excellent driving out there. You got 3rd. Congratulations on the podium finish. Hell of a performance. I mean, minus the 2 guys in front of you, don't discredit your work there. You did an awesome job. I want to go to the post-race comment you made about you're surprised that these guys were able to stretch it out. What was the fuel mileage out there?
It was somewhere, obviously more than 75 laps because they made it from roughly halfway. But yeah, they were better at saving fuel than me for sure. I didn't think I could have pitted that soon and save that much fuel, but they did. So good job, good job. I probably, in retrospect, I probably should have pitted a little bit earlier, not giving up as much track position.
Yeah, we saw you. I think you were one of the last ones to come down, and we thought that you might be able to finish, this thing off and get that first place victory there. It's like they were coming down pit road, but they just ended up saving a little more. But you had a great truck tonight. How was the truck handling out there overall?
It actually felt pretty good. Balance was pretty good all the way through the whole run. So yeah, truck felt good tonight.
And I see you got that Fig Newton sponsor on the wrong spot. I thought that's supposed to go on the windshield.
He can put the thing wherever he wants at the end of the day, right? It's his truck. But yeah, I gotta have to agree. But congratulations once again, Mr. Langston, on getting that top 3 podium finish. Anyone out there on Nerd TV that's watching that you'd love to give a shout out to?
Just my teammates, Steve Ruman and Andy Palicki. They helped me a lot with strategy throughout the race.
Yeah, congratulations, man. Once again, go ahead and celebrate with those teammates and have a good rest of your night. We'll see you next week.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And that was the number 21 Oreo Ritz Fig Newton Chevrolet Silverado. And that's going to bring Bobby Terrell in here, who did finish second this evening. Mr. Bobby Terrell, do you got a copy?
Yes, sir. I copy you.
Awesome, man. Congratulations on the runner-up second place finish. Hell of a job there. The first half of the race was all you. We were like, yep, this is the guy who's going to do it, no problem. And then Casey had a really excellent stop, came in right behind you, took advantage early. Then what was the difference between the first half versus the second half of the race?
I was saving fuel. I would have never made it if I'd run the same pace that that I'd that I had been running. There was no way that I could make it on fuel. I mean, we made it to whatever it was, lap 77, and we had those 2 cautions, which saved some fuel. And I knew when I got out there, and I was just going to get off behind him, and I seen right off the bat that there was no way the pace that I was running that I would have made it on fuel. And I mean, I ran out as we crossed the finish line, like second corner. I think I ran out. So I don't know how he had enough fuel to do a burnout or anything. I have no idea how he made it.
It was close. We were wondering if we were counting down the laps and saying if they're going to come down, they're going to come down now. But great fuel saving and it was a great run there. And I don't know if you noticed, but Casey McMullen didn't make the race tonight, so that's going to definitely help your points. I mean, you're only going to lose 1 point, maybe 2 points there for getting that second place, but that should give you a good points lead heading into Darlington next week.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Casey. I mean, me and Casey always have good battles, so I expected him to be here, but I don't know what happened. I hope everything's okay.
Yeah, same here. We hope everything's okay and he's back next week. And it was a great run that you had there. Congratulations on the second place finish. Is there anyone out there that you want to, kind of say thanks to that might be watching, or any teammates out there?
No teammates. Just a loner. But I'd like to thank you guys up there in the booth for doing it, and FTSR for putting this on.
You hear that, guys? Mr. Terrell maybe needing a teammate over in BT Racing. Who knows? We got a next season coming up, so very much a possibility. But yeah, congratulations on the run-up, second place finish again, man. Go ahead and celebrate for the night, and we'll catch you next week.
Thank you.
You got it. And that was your second place finisher, Bobby Terrell. I do not believe we have word with the race winner, Nicholas Casey. I do not see him available for a chat. So maybe if we can get him next week, we can chat with him. But at the moment, I do not see him. So extended congratulations to you if you do end up watching this thing after the race. We'll see you on Wednesday as well for the next race. 2 races left in the truck series. Speaking of which, Ken, we got a schedule. We got 2 more left. Darlington and Kansas. I know you already talked about how you're excited for it, just the diversity of these tracks. And Darlington, man, what's the stripe count going to look like?
These guys, these are great racing group of guys, but Darlington's such a tough track. So, we're definitely going to be in double digits. It could be a while, a lot of different stripes that we're going to have. So I'm excited for that one. And then Kansas is going to be a good one too. Every time I see Kansas, I just think of Carl Edwards trying to make that video game pass there on Jimmy Johnson. So let's see if we have anything like that happen.
That'd be awesome to see the next video game attempt pass on a video game. It didn't work out in his favor. Why not throw it? You don't know until you try it at least once. No one simulated that in real life. So now we know that does not work. Got word that Nicholas Casey's microphone is not working. It is broken. So he was unable to do that chat for us tonight. So we'll try to definitely get a hold of him for next week to, extend our thank yous out to him. Because it was well-deserved, man. Hell of a job saving that fuel, it sounds like, to extend that run to the checker flags in dominant fashion, really, as well. So congratulations once again to Nicholas Casey. That's going to bring the end to our broadcast. Of course, we always have our sponsors we like to give a quick shout out to at the end of the production, just to, because without them, they're not here as always. Thank you, Full Throttle Sim Racing, for letting us do this for you. I know we're signed on for next season in 2022, season B in the truck series with the sim racing points. Should be an excellent show. Sign up for the new seasons at ftsr.net. And then, of course, Sim Racing Points, just mentioned them, your official all-inclusive league points management system for Full Throttle Sim Racing and for the Nerditudes as well. Go to simracingpoints.com. Check out all of their pricing plans. And then Martin Sports, of course, the home of these sim gloves of all sim racing. Go to their website, martinsports906.com. As I announced halfway through the race, we have the Nerditudes pre-order set up for your gloves and all of our merchandise that we're going to be running through Martin Sports as far as our early launch apparel. So head over to the team section and look for Nerditudes on the drop down. That's going to be martinsports906.com. And whatever you buy, of course, Super Nerd, 25% off everything in the cart. Quick shout out to iRacing iFlag, official flag partner of Nerditudes. Brings a bunch of indications to your desk. Easy to see. You keep your focus on the racing surface, and you're going to find their stuff at iracingiflag.com. And then the butt kicker, once again, home of the Gamer 2 unit at the Nerd headquarters. You're going to go to thebuttkicker.com. Go purchase anything on their site. Use Nerd TV at checkout. 20% off. And then Nerd Focus, the official energy partner of Nerditudes as well. Nerd Focus for the Nerditudes over here. Makes sense, right? Nerdfocus.com. Super Nerd at checkout. 10% off their flavors of drinks. And then a quick shout out as well to Moonlight Speed Concept. The asphalt professional-like setups made across the board to stay competitive and get some wins underneath your belt. On the asphalt side, that's moonlightspeed.com. And then you're going to go to houseofspeed.us for the dirt side. Again, professional setups made for all your dirt oval needs. All right, that's going to bring the close to our broadcast night. We will return to you guys Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern for the Cup race at Dover for 3 races left and their schedule. Until then, guys, stay safe and get your nerd on.
Later, nerds.